Hi, I'm Parker,
And I'm Muneeza.
and this is our missed post number 3, movies in our spare time. This time we're doing Snowpiercer, another Bong Joon-ho film. Um, and yeah, overall, I think what did I give Parasite?
I think you
A
gave it a
9,
10 out of 10.
9.9 out of 10 or something like that. For this movie, I think I'd give it a 8.5 out of 10.
Oh, I was thinking 8.9 out of
Oh.
10. Not 9 out of 10 because I feel like it's not at that level yet.
Mm.
Something about the ending just
Yeah, it
turned me
really,
off.
yeah.
Yeah.
It fell flat. Yeah, so I think it was done it okay, so compared to Parasite,
hmm
I think it was very much like you could tell it was a Bong Joon-ho film.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely a lot of elements that are in both. And I never heard of him or was aware of him before Parasite.
hmm
So but I was aware of this movie and I never watched it before now, but um yeah, I think it holds up against Parasite.
Yeah, they both have elements of comedy as well as,
Yeah,
like,
they're both about social class.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of like a thriller horror type
yeah,
film,
yeah.
but there's also like dark comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. So I think the part about it that I found most interesting was that it was all in one space. Like I really
hmm
like the concept of the train, and I think it was based off a book, so I'll definitely read that book at some point. But yeah, I really like that it was all one location pretty much. Obviously, there's different spaces within the train, and I like the creativity that was, obviously you had the slums in the back, but as you moved forward, it got a lot more high class. There's a sushi bar,
Yeah.
random stuff like that that just made you aware of how big the class divide really was. Like the people in the back have literally nothing, are eating bugs
hmm
and each other apparently.
Yeah.
And then the people at the front have everything everyone else has on the
They have an
outside.
aquarium.
They have
a
an
sushi
aquarium.
chef. They
Yeah,
have like steak.
exactly. Um, so I think that's also compared to Parasite, the Park family versus the Kim family.
hmm
Like the Kim family has pretty much nothing. Their houses are getting flooded all the time.
hmm
Whereas the Park family has, this huge expansive mansion
Yeah.
and housekeepers and drivers
Private
and
tutors and
exactly. Um, and so I think that was probably my favorite part about it. What about you?
my favorite part about the movie was also the train because
Mhm.
I really like the setting and how it's all in, one place. It's kind of different than the average like end of the world movie
Yeah,
or TV
definitely,
show.
definitely.
It's definitely an original concept, even though it was a book. I think I haven't read the book, but I feel like this is a well representation
Yeah,
of the book.
it probably is.
Yeah. I liked how Chris Evans like portrayed Curtis as like
hmm
this leader, but he's also really
Morally,
affectionate and
oh
like
yeah, yeah.
warm towards his own people. But like he just shot
He's also
Tilda in the
very
head.
true. Yeah, he's also very guilty.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know. I was comparing that character to Captain America in my mind
Oh
because
god.
they're played by the same person. I can't. I don't know. That relation is just there. But I don't know. I feel like
I think that's what's interesting is that like Chris Evans has a contract with Marvel, so he's never
yeah.
really been in a movie like this. And I think this came out before Captain America, right? Or
I
no?
think it came out before Winter Soldier.
Oh,
I think,
okay,
or the
yeah.
same year, or something
Well,
like that.
he wasn't really that associated with Captain America at that time. I'm
Yeah.
guessing.
No, the first Avengers had come out.
Yeah, but Civil War and like all the other
Yeah,
Avengers
yeah, yeah, yeah.
movies. I don't know.
His whole character arc wasn't there yet. Anyway,
Yeah, exactly.
in this movie, I think the character arc, obviously he got to his whole thing was sacrifice and
hmm
trying to be a martyr for the people basically.
Yeah.
And he got to do that by the end of it. He broke his arm in the machinery.
Yeah.
And I think yeah, he carried that guilt around because of what he tried to do as like when they first got on the train.
Oh, with Edgar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That scene was really well acted.
Yes.
Like spot on. Other than that, I think like the cinematic element that I would talk most about is like the sound design and everything. I think similar to Parasite, had a super good soundtrack. Like the score was really good. Brought a lot more emotion to everything, and like more obviously in all the action sequences, which were really well done. I think it brought a lot more hype to the train.
Oh, hype to the train.
And yeah, there was one part in like the bridge fight scene when they're saying like Happy New Year and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
They were Curtis was like hacking away at people, and during that, like it was all muted. Like there wasn't a music for that, for one section of it at least. And the only thing you could hear was like the struggling to like fight the other people off because it was all dark. And I think that was really well done too.
I noticed that whenever there was a fighting sequence, like the one in the sauna, every time, what was the guy's name? The main villain in the suit. I don't think they really said his name, but he worked for Wilford.
Yeah, and he's like the main security guy.
Yeah, and every time he stabbed someone, you could like hear it.
Yeah,
and then when he stabbed, was it Edgar through his hand, and then he was like, the knife went through his hand and into his chest.
Yeah.
And you can hear it going into his chest, piece by piece. It was so hard to hear, but I thought the sound design in that scene was really well done. Also, I don't know if that was Edgar. That might have been inaccurate.
I think it was like the super acrobatic, like, knife thrower guy.
Oh, yeah.
I think. I don't know.
Well, him. I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
Another thing I really liked was the editing. Because in the very last scene, well, not the last scene, but right before the train falls, the riot that's coming for Yona and her dad when they're about to fire the chronal, and there's a fight going on, there's like torches, people are screaming, and then it cuts to Curtis and Wilford in their little tank, and it's like quiet. The lighting, it's completely silent. It's just like Curtis sitting there thinking, and then it's Wilford's like calming voice.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to really loud, chaotic riots, and it's like people holding weapons with like scary, intimidating masks, and they're walking towards Yona's father. And that's kind of in like a reddish lighting, and then it switches back again to Curtis and Wilford in like a bluish gray, and it's like clean, it's like silent. I thought that like was really well juxtaposed.
Yeah, right after that scene, like the very final ending scene after the train is like crushed by the avalanche, that was a whole, I don't know, like that's probably why I gave it 8.5, is like the ending just didn't seem to make sense to me. I guess like it was fine that everyone died, but like it wasn't, I don't know. It seemed like they were trying to do like an Adam and Eve thing with like these two kids, like, or like a teenager girl and this child.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate that.
I did not appreciate that either. And they showed this polar bear that was just there to like show signs of life. And it's like, okay, well, they're standing 20 feet from a polar bear. Like, what's really going to happen, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. That was the only part that like didn't meet my expectations, I guess.
I also did not like the ending. I thought it was kind of cliche. It's definitely not the way I thought it was gonna end, but the way they ended it is a cliffhanger. I think that's why I don't like it, but I don't know.
Okay, so those were our thoughts on Snowpiercer. I think that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.